So yesterday I yelled at my kids because I accidentally ate a pancake. It has since become our favorite little story. Even last night, putting the kids to bed, they were like, please tell us the accidental pancake story, Mom. Now, I love some good self-deprecating humor every now and then, and this was a juicy one. What could have possibly made me lash out at my kids, which is what I did. I ended up yelling at my kids because I was so upset because I literally accidentally ate a pancake. Now, if you are a highly sensitive, empathetic woman who has kids, you will probably relate to me in this story. First of all, who accidentally eats a pancake? I mean, it's just comedic. I'll tell you who. It's a highly sensitive, empathetic mother who gets easily overstimulated when too many things are going on at once. And there is no more stressful time in her day than trying to get her two children out of the house to drive the 35 minutes to school. One of whom boycotts every single day wearing his shoes because he would prefer to wear snow boots that take 15 minutes to put on and even longer to take off because he is adamant that the $75 shoes that you recently bought him look stupid. And that's not even the half of it, but just for the humor of the story, this is every day from 7 to 7:30 in the morning. What's unusual about this particular day when I accidentally ate a pancake was I was supposed to be fasting for a blood draw for a hormone panel that I had taken a lot of painstaking effort to figure out the window of time where it was appropriate to pull the blood draw to figure out if in fact I am perimenopausal or something else is going on in my world. I have been peeing on ovulation sticks. I have figured out the window where I'm ovulating, and not just having a blood test, I have now the responsibility on this morning to fill 4 vials of saliva, which if you've ever done is just freaking miserable, and spit into all these vials as I'm making 2 different breakfasts for 2 kids, trying to get them dressed, trying to fold laundry, trying to do all the things just to get us out of the house. What I didn't figure on was I needed extra time to gift myself to be able to take care of what I had to do and still get the kids out of the house. So as I am actively spitting into a vial, I am cooking pancakes for one kid and making porridge for the other and trying to get my son, who is adamant that he has to wear his snow boots, and I am adamant that he has to wear his ridiculously expensive shoes that no one should probably buy for their 5-year-old ever. Now, my sweet empathetic daughter sees that I am clearly in some kind of emotional tailspin trying to wrangle everyone, and she thinks Mom needs a pancake. And so she goes up to me and goes, Mom, here. And she hands it to me as I am mid-sentence talking to my son about what new bribery I have in mind to get him to put on his expensive shoes. And I don't think about it. And I put the pancake in my mouth, and I eat not one, but somehow she managed to put a second pancake in my mouth as I'm trying to negotiate terms with my son for the shoe decision of the day. So I am finished with 2 pancakes before I realize that I am not supposed to be eating anything. I'm supposed to have fasted for the blood draw. And I freak out as I'm literally stirring myself my favorite coffee drink, which at this point is a ritual that means if I get a chance to drink this hot and it hasn't gone lukewarm yet, I will actually have a really, really great day. And that's how significant this thing is for me. As I'm stirring this, I'm realizing, gosh, I've forgotten something. Yes, I have the blood draw paperwork there, and I'm sitting there going, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to have fasted. And I'm pissed because I can't drink my hot coffee, which is always a bad sign. And then I realize that I've accidentally eaten not 1, but 2 pancakes. So then I Google just how bad is it if I lie and say I haven't been fasting and I go and do the blood draw. And apparently Reddit is unanimous. It is not a good idea. So at this point, I am just a wreck because now I'm gonna have to wait an entire new cycle for my hormone testing, for my ovulation cycle to come around again, which means I will be back peeing on ovulation sticks, means that I will be back trying to do this blood work, and I will be postponed another month from figuring out what the fuck is wrong with me. And that's the unceremonious time that I decide it's a good idea to yell at my son and say, put your freaking shoes on. I don't care. I don't even care if you bring your snow boots. Throw them in the car. We are officially 10 minutes late. And I get in the car and it's quiet. And then, of course, I am like, oh, you're that mom that now has created eggshells in the car, and everybody is like freaking out because you seem so clearly unhinged about something so admittedly stupid as accidentally eating a pancake. And so I am trying to like breathe, trying to self-talk, trying to get into a compassionate state with myself. And I sit there and my sweet little daughter is going like, oh, I'm sorry, mom. Like, I'm sorry. And she's over apologizing, which is such a sign of good girl syndrome. And if you follow me here, you know that I talk a lot about good girl syndrome, and it is not something I am excited to see modeled for my sweet empathetic daughter, who I am actively aware of the need for me to break the cycle in my lineage so that she doesn't have to deal with it. And at this point, I feel like an epic failure. And I sit there and I go, man, I just feel like the one thing that could make me feel somewhat better about the situation would be if my daughter said something about, Mom, you can't speak to me like that, or stood up for herself in some way. Then I would have a glimmer of hope that she doesn't think it's okay for her mom to be this spun out. And in that moment, she goes, Mom, I have two things to say. And I said, what is it, Kennedy? And she goes, first, can we listen to a story? And second, I don't ever want you to speak to me like that again, because I don't deserve to have somebody telling me in that tone of voice to get into the car. And the glorious ending to the pancake accidental eating story, Mom's Meltdown, is my daughter knew how she was supposed to be treated, and knew how to ask for it in a kind way. And it made me feel so much better. And of course I apologized. And since then we have made it not a joke at my expense, but an example of what it looks like to do something that others might think is ridiculous, and why people do things that way, and then how to take ownership of it. So that's my fun little chat here as I am procrastinating something I need to get done for work.